Alright guys, so I just want to start this video by saying this is the gear that I've decided I'm going to carry for at least the beginning of the Pacific Crest Trail. It would be considered ultralight. The base weight, not including food and water, is somewhere around 9 to 10 pounds. Truthfully, I don't nerd out that much on that, the grams and ounces and whatnot. I find that I've invested in the best, lightest gear that I thought would work for me, and it's led me to a 9 to 10 pound base weight. You can give or take a pound if I added gear or not, but just do your own research, figure out what works for you. I've discovered that this is what works for me, but it might not work for you. So, you know, take anything I say with a grain of salt, and happy trails. Alright, so right now I'm making a video about all the gear that I'm going to be leaving Campo with on the Pacific Crest Trail. This is the gear that I'm going to carry for this first 700 miles of the trail. It's going to change once I get up into the higher mountains in the High Sierra. I'll just add a bare canister, an ice axe, and some warmer layers along with micro spikes. But what you see in front of you is just everything that I will do the desert section with of the PCT. Obviously it can change once I get out there, but this is what I'm leaving with a week from today. So I'll start with the clothes that I'm going to wear, and I'll start from the top. I just have a mil-spec sun hat, boonie cap. I wore it on the AT, works great. It's kind of thick, so I might get sick of it in the desert, but it's kind of for nostalgia purposes. And then working my way down, I have a sun shirt. It's just an REI brand sun shirt, keeps the UV rays off you. And these are just some running shorts. They're like Air Force PT shorts, and those should work just fine. And some Ex Officio boxer briefs. They're like the grab and go ones, and they work really great for me. Some people opt out of wearing underwear out there, but I find it's a necessity for me. Helps with chafing, and it's just a lot more comfortable to have underwear. Then for socks, this is one of my pairs of socks, and this is just a longer Darn Tough sock. Darn Tough makes great socks. They're the only kind of socks I wear for hiking. I've thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail, and I didn't have a single blister the whole time, and I wore these socks, so there's that. And then down to my footwear, I got the Ultra Lone Peak 3.0s, and I love them. They're a minimalist, zero-drop shoe. Been wearing them for a few months now, and I think they'll treat me well. If not, I have some Brooks Cascadias that are not a zero-drop minimalist shoe, but I can always switch to those if I want to. And I also have some Dirty Girl Gaiters to prevent debris from going into the shoe. So that's everything I'll wear, most likely when I start. Unless it's colder out, I'll throw on a base layer or my down puffy jacket or something. So now I'm going to just work my way to the big three, and I'll start with my backpack. That is a Hyperlite Mountain Gear Wind Rider 3400. It's a good pack. I've used it on some smaller hikes. Pretty lightweight. It's under 2 pounds, and I have a feeling it'll make it all the way to Canada with me. Just a little side note, I got a little bandana attached to the shoulder strap. I always have one right there. So that's my main bandana that I'm carrying. But yeah, it's a good pack. Hyperlite Wind Rider 3400. It's size large, and it's really good. Then we move on to my tent. My tent is a Z-Pack Solplex one-person tent. It's really great, very lightweight, packs down real small. I'm a big fan of it. Here's the stakes, got 8 stakes with it. And again, I'm pretty happy with it. It's made out of Cuben fiber, which is the same material as the pack. You guys can do your own research on what kind of material you want to use, but Cuben fiber is the strongest, lightest material out there, so it's what I'm going with. And then also for my big three, this is my quilt. It is Enlightened Equipment Revelation 20-degree bag. I've camped with it a few times, and it's very warm, very comfortable. I'm a big fan of it. I also have it in a Hyperlite Mountain Gear medium Cuben fiber stuff sack. And yeah, it's a good quilt. Keeps me warm. Should do the trick on the trail. When I get into the higher elevation, I could potentially get a sleeping bag liner sent to me to stay a little warmer. Otherwise, I got base layers and whatnot to sleep in. And then also to add to my pack, I have a contractor bag. Yeah, I just line my pack with it. It keeps the water out even better. Even though it's a waterproof pack, I carry this just for the added security. And then also for my sleep system, I have my sleeping pad. It's just a Thermarest Z-Lite sleeping pad. I'm sure you guys have seen these. It's just easy. I can throw it down on the ground when I'm hiking and just take a break. So I'm just using this. It won't pop. And also, again, in the Sierra, I might get a Thermarest X-Lite sent to me and just throw it on top of this just for the added warmth. Okay. Now I'll move on to some miscellaneous items like my first aid stuff and whatnot. I got a head net, a bug net. I'll carry this the whole way. It weighs almost nothing and just keeps the mosquitoes out of your face. A must-have for me is also some baby wipes. I will also add toilet paper to this, but baby wipes are a must-have. They save your ass, literally. And some Dr. Bronner's soap. It's just a little thing of soap. It's used for everything. I'll use it to clean myself, any cookware that I have, and also brush my teeth. And then a little thing of Purell to keep my hands clean. And also I find it works great as a fire starter to assist in starting fires if it's wet out. Just put some Purell on some toilet paper and the fire will get going real quick. I got a Sharpie marker and a pen for obvious reasons. Also the Sharpie marker so I can write on my sheet of Tyvek that I have for when I'm catching hitches. I can write the town that I'm trying to go to. I can just write that down. And my first aid kit's pretty minimal. I got some Body Glide. It's another must-have for me. It stops chafing. You can put it on your feet, in between your legs, everywhere else, all that good stuff. And then also in my first aid kit, got some Gold Bond, kind of same situation. You throw it on before you go to bed at night. You wake up, you feel like a new man. Got a little bit of duct tape, little tiny bit, just wrapped it around a Q-tip. And that's that. And then ibuprofen. I wish I didn't eat ibuprofen like candy on the trail, but the truth is I do. Hopefully I'll be able to prevent that on this trail. Who knows? Marijuana is legal in the 3 states that I'm hiking through, so maybe I won't have to eat as much ibuprofen. I could just eat weed. And then a little stick of sunscreen. I'm sure I'll be needing that. Then just some little, like a little thing of like Dayquil, some Imodium, one little antiseptic wipe, some antibacterial ointment, just a little thing of it, and then also a little bit of tenacious tape, just barely any, and then also Cuben fiber tape. So I got all the tape I'd ever need. And also in here I got 4 spare AAA batteries for my headlamp, and a toothbrush, which of course I cut in half for maximum weight savings. So that's really it for first aid. It's pretty minimal. I don't carry Band-Aids or anything like that. That's what duct tape is for. Who needs a Band-Aid? A Band-Aid's not going to stick on the trail, so just carry duct tape, and duct tape barely even sticks. So you're kind of SOL if you get a cut. Just wait till you get to town and take care of it. Also, I'll just add in right here is a Bic lighter. I will actually replace this Bic lighter with 2 mini Bic lighters, just for obvious reasons. You know, if one breaks or gets too wet, I can use the other. One always stays in my pack, and one always stays on my person. So yeah, there's that. And then move on to a little other miscellaneous item. A pair of sunglasses. These will be important in the desert and in the snow. They're polarized sunglasses, and just a cheap pair I bought from outdoor store down the street from my grandma's house. And move on to maps. Some maps I'm going to start with. It's just the first little bit of the section. It's literally up to Mount Laguna. I'm going to send myself a package in Mount Laguna, and then some more maps will be sent there. And then a compass. So map and compass, that's an essential. Another miscellaneous is just my iPhone charger and my headphones for the iPhone. And I'll also take my iPhone, which is currently filming. It's an iPhone 7. And I'm contemplating getting an Anker battery, like an external battery that'll be able to charge my phone like 3 times. I haven't purchased it yet. It weighs like 9 ounces or something, and I'm just kind of hesitant to add that to my pack. Move on to this is my cook set. I'm actually going stoveless on the trail, so I'll just be rehydrating my meals in a empty peanut butter jar, and I have a little tiny plastic spoon that weighs nothing, so that's that. And you can look up stoveless backpacking and find out more about it that way. And then we'll move on to my water storage and filtration. I got 2 platypus bags that are 2 liters each, and then 2 smart liter bottles, or smart water bottles, 1 liter each. So 6 liters total of water storage. I feel like that should be enough for me for the desert section, at least in the beginning. And then also I got a little top to the smart water bottle. It's a sport top. It helps so you can clean out your filter. I don't even know if I'll start with this. I just had it in my pack for the last backpacking trip I went on. But you could always just pick one of these up at the store to flush out the filter. And of course the Sawyer squeeze for filtration. And then these stay in my hip belt pocket at all times. This is my headlamp. It's just a black diamond waterproof headlamp. I carried it on the AT. It's a bit heavy, but I didn't really care to get a new one, and it's really bright. I was thinking about getting a real lightweight like Zipco one, but I just figured it wasn't worth it. And a pocket knife. It's just a Gerber pocket knife. I wasn't hardcore enough to switch to just a razor blade. I kind of like to have the pocket knife, so that way when I get scared at night I can sleep with it under my stuff sack pillow. Go ahead and move on to my food bag. This is my food bag right here. I'm going to start out with 4 days of food in it. And it's just a Z-Packs bear bag. I got the bear hanging kit, and that's that. And then move on to my sleep clothes and just a couple warmer layers I'll have for when it's cold out. I also have these in a Hyperlite Mountain Gear medium Cuban fiber stuff sack. I do have the 1 medium Cuban fiber stuff sack already for my quilt, and all of it together will fit in 1 stuff sack, but I like the way it distributes weight more if I use 2 separate stuff sacks, but that could always change along the way. So for my mid layer, I have a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer down puffy jacket. It's real great, really lightweight, and I'm a fan of it so far. Let's see how it works once I actually get out there, but when I've used it already, it keeps me very warm. And then an additional pair of Darn Tough socks for hiking. These are just the ankle cut ones, and I'm a huge fan of Darn Tough socks. They're made out of merino wool, and I'd recommend them to anyone. Then for my base layer, I just have, I think it's called the Patagonia Capeline. That's just a lightweight base layer. I got it on sale. That's why there's these strange colors, yellow and green. They call it carbon or something. And then also my base layer pants, the Long John, same thing, Patagonia Capeline, lightweight. Hopefully it'll keep me warm enough. If not, I have some other wool ones I can get sent to me and some other polyester ones as well. So I'm not too worried about that. And by the way, these will mainly be for sleeping in. And every once in a while, I'm sure in the morning, I'll just throw the pants on over my shorts just to stay warm while I hike for the first couple hours of the morning and take them off. I did that on the Appalachian Trail sometimes, might do it in the desert, who knows. And also for sleeping, I have a pair of sleep socks. These are just smart wool. It's like a liner sock, but it works good for sleeping, keeps your feet warm. And then moving on to my trekking poles. These are just some cheap REI Traverse trekking poles. I noticed with trekking poles, I beat the crap out of them, and I don't see the point of spending, you know, $200 on a set of trekking poles that I might break in half in like a week, because it's happened. And also these trekking poles also act as my tent poles. My tent is assembled using the trekking poles. I'll probably go further into that later on down the line in some other videos or something, show you how to set up the tent and show you what I think of it. But that being said, it is a little scary. I've never done any sort of long distance hike with the trekking pole tent combination, so it does concern me if I break a trekking pole, I'm gonna have to, you know, figure something out to set my tent up. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there, and hopefully I never get to that bridge. And then also, this is a new one for me. It's just a sun umbrella. I'm not gonna open it because I think that's bad luck, but just kidding, because I don't believe in luck. So there we go. It's just a sun umbrella, and it also will keep the rain off me. But I'm not too concerned about the rain part, because I am going to carry rain gear, and that is just the, I have the Outdoor Research helium rain gear. Here's the rain jacket, and the rain pants. And yeah, that's it. I mean, and as for the rain gear, I don't always carry rain pants when I hike, but I think it'll be necessary at the higher elevations, because I don't want to be wet, high, and cold. So yeah, that's literally everything I'm starting the desert section with. Aside from, like I said, I'll potentially get an external battery to be able to charge my devices with, which is only going to be my cell phone. I might pick up an additional camera, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Yeah, so that's really all I'm going to be taking, and maybe I'll give you guys a rundown of how I load it all into my pack. But thanks for watching. I just realized there are a couple things I forgot to mention that I'm going to be taking. I just passed over them. Got this. It's just a little microfiber towel. It works great. I carried the same kind on the Appalachian Trail. I just bought a new fresh one for this hike. You can dry your whole body with it if you find a shower along the way, or take a bath in a stream or anything like that. And also, what my gear is all sitting on is a Tyvek sheet. It's people use it to like wrap their homes for the insulation before they put their side paneling on. But it works great for a ground sheet. I could also use it as a sign while hitchhiking. And then also, for something I'm going to wear, it's just a watch. It's a Casio G-Shock watch, just a cheap waterproof watch. I can set an alarm and whatnot on it. So that's that. That's everything that I will carry for the desert section of my Pacific Crest Trail thru hike. Yeah. Alright, so real quick, I'm just going to pack everything into my pack. So if you're interested, you can see how I do it. I start by lining my pack with the trash compactor bag. That'll keep all the water out. And the first thing I put in the bottom of my pack is my quilt. I just throw that in my medium Hyperlite Cuban fiber stuff sack. And that's usually the first thing I pack up in the morning when I'm getting out of my tent. I throw this in my stuff sack to get out of the warm bag and wake up. And I don't like to compact my down too much, so I leave it kind of loose in there. Some people end up just throwing it right in their pack. I don't feel comfortable doing that because I've had water get into the trash compactor bag even, and it's just, I don't want to risk getting my down wet. So, the sleeping bag gets stuffed in the bottom. And then the next thing I put in my bag is my food. And I'll just throw that right on top of the sleeping bag. And you do that because you want the heavier weight to be closer to your center of gravity. So, you know, just more towards the center of your back is where you want more of the heavier weight things. And then I'll throw my extra clothes. Oh, and I realized I forgot to mention another piece of gear I had, which is just a beanie. It's just a Z-Packs fleece beanie. I lost my Smart Wool beanie, so just using this lightweight fleece beanie that Z-Packs sent me with the tent. So yeah, I just stuff all my sleeping clothes and warmer clothes in this stuff sack just to make sure it all stays dry. It could save your life if you get hypothermic. It's good to have some dry clothes and dry socks. And again, I just kind of loosely throw it in there. I don't compact it too much, because if you compact it down too much, the weight, it becomes like a big bowling ball, and it just throws the weight off your pack, which is why I don't throw all of this in with my quilt. It would just be too heavy there at the bottom of my pack. So that goes in there, and I throw that right next to my tent on the top of my pack. And they're about the same size, same weight, so they go right in the top of my pack pretty easily. Throw the tent in there, extra clothes. I'll just go ahead and throw my first aid kit in there. Actually, usually I'd kind of throw that on top of the food, but right now it doesn't really matter too much. It's okay up top as well, because it's not heavy at all. And then I twist the trash compactor bag so no water can get in, and then I just stuff it down in the pack. So now it's extremely waterproof. And then you just go ahead and roll down the pack. Get all that air out of there. Roll it down. You strap it down on the sides. Oh, realized I forgot to throw my tent stakes in there. Those don't even need to stay dry. This is just a rough idea. Obviously, I'll pack it a little better if I'm going to be hiking. So there's that. And just I'll throw my rain gear in the front pocket. It all packs into itself, but I'm not going to do that for time purposes. Yeah, I'll just throw the rain gear right where it's accessible. It varies, you know, sweating in here. I can just throw this in the front of my pack. It's the microfiber towel. My cook set, or, you know, my rehydration set. Throw that in the front as well. got my water bottles. Those will be full in the side, and that's a dog. And this water, I'll throw in with my waterproof first aid kit. It's a phone charger. Throw my water filter in there. Pocket knife, throw that in my hip belt pocket. Headlamp, also throw that in my hip belt pocket. A lighter can go in my hip belt pocket. Sunglasses, can just throw those right here. Got the umbrella, put that in the side. Trekking poles, I'll probably normally just be hiking with them, but for right now, I'll just throw them in the side pocket as well. Platypus bags, and then my map and compass. You can just throw that right in there as well. And my sleeping pad goes right up top. There's the little V-strap right here. And cinch it down. And then my Tyvek ground sheet. Fold it up and throw it right in front of the pack. And that's it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just leave them in the comments down below, and party on.